You see my screen?
Yes.
Helpful, Annie?
Yes, yes, it's great, and we are live.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let us wait for a couple of minutes and we will start. So, hi, everyone, and welcome once again. Thank you for joining us for another session of Copilot Academy series. As you know, as many of you know, in previous sessions we explored how Copilot can support everyday work across tools like Outlook, Teams, Excel, and today we're focusing on something many teams deal with every day, which is PowerPoint and Word. Whether it is a presentation, a report, a draft that still needs shaping, a lot of effort goes into turning rough ideas into polished output. So this session is built around one important question: how can Copilot help you go from blank page to polished output faster? So for this session, we'll cover a lot of points like drafting reports and presentations, generating stronger narratives from outlines and ideas, and many, many more points. So, as always, feel free to ask questions in the chat during the session, and we'll also have a dedicated Q&A session afterwards. And now I'm happy to welcome our dear speakers, Rahat and Muzamil, our AI adoption experts, who will walk us through the session, share all of these practical insights. So very excited for this session myself too. I'm giving stage to our dear Rahat. So feel free.
Thank you so much, Annie. And hello and welcome everyone to our continued series within this academy. And we are extremely happy to always see nice faces and nice participants. Let me go ahead and get started to manage our time well. So, as Annie mentioned, today we're focusing on Copilot in Word and in PowerPoint. I'm going to start with PowerPoint, and definitely we will start directly with some demos to make the best out of this session. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, first, how we can access Copilot, or what is the preferred tool, you can definitely, or the preferred way, you can definitely access Copilot in PowerPoint through the web or through the app. So feel free to go through the web and access Copilot or through the app. I'm going to go ahead with the app. And as you can see here, this is like, I'm going to start, this is my PowerPoint. I'm going to start with a new presentation. You can start with a blank presentation, but you might ask me, Ragad, what if I have a template and I want to follow what I have in that template? We can definitely select the template that you have and take it from there. So let me now select the template that I have in my own. So just feel free to open the template that you have and let me walk you through how we can ask Copilot to go through or to follow this template. So see here, this is my template, Cloud for Work template. Let's assume that. And what I want is that I want my Copilot to follow this template. What we need to focus upon, and we need to make sure that Copilot would read, is basically viewing the slide master. So basically, if I go here to view, and we see the slide master, can you see here? Copilot will follow the structure that we have here. So this is the title slide, and then we have like the additional slide, and then we have this is like the section breakers, and we have images to the left-hand side, and so on and so forth. So basically, if I want my Copilot to follow a certain template, we can use the template of our own. Just open your template, the template that you use, and you can just to check the slide master. Copilot will mimic, let's say, 90% of what we have in this slide master up to a certain accuracy, as we all know. So now, just review your slide master. This is what matters. Copilot will follow this structure, and we will definitely validate once we generate our content. So this is what I have, and this is what we prepared with the structure, as you can see. And once we check this slide master, what we can do is start with generating our content. So as you can see, I'm working on the app on my PC, on my desktop. Definitely you can open it on the web. And as you can see here, we have this AI tool or AI, like let's say icon. You can click on it, and we have many options. We can create a new presentation, and we can add a topic. I will go through this, or add a slide, summarize a presentation, and also ask Copilot. What we also need to note here is that we have Copilot here, excuse me, to the right-hand side. This is the same Copilot chat that we have introduced in our academy at the first or second session. So basically, you can access Copilot chat in your PowerPoint and then start talking to your Copilot. So you can call any previous prompt, you can call any previous visual, and just take it, copy, paste between the right-hand side and the left-hand side. So in the meantime, it needs a human intervention, but hopefully, inshallah, in the future, a lot of these human interventions would be minimized and reduced with time. As you can see here, we have our work and our web. So it's just a Copilot chat where we can really chat with our Copilot. And you can definitely here attach all your work material. So you can attach as if you're working within Copilot chat application. So you can call your people, you can tag your minutes, like your meetings. Let's assume you attended a meeting and you want Copilot to extract a couple of points from that meeting and then add it on a slide. Copilot can do that on the same platform. So how is that useful? It is useful that it will offer you the same platform to see things and work around your environment at the same point. But in the meantime, if I want my Copilot to do things, to create content, we need to go with this tool, which is creating the presentation. So we will come back to this, like chatting with Copilot and making use of a previous prompts or etc. You can here ask Copilot to process some data for you and then take some charts. This is something doable, and then copy and paste and insert into your presentation. But in the meantime, let's close this for better visualization. And let's just start here with creating a new presentation. I'm going to start from scratch. And as you can see here, Copilot is telling me create a presentation about. You can be as detailed as you want. And here Copilot is telling me that I can add up to 5 files as a reference if needed. So if I click on reference files, you can see that you can attach many files and many types of files. So you can attach PDF, you can attach Excel, you can attach like a Word document. So whatever you have as a file and you want to reframe it or restructure it, you can definitely ask this to Copilot. And at any point of time, you don't need to like pull all the 5 files at the same time. You can just break down this into pieces. Now let's work on our prompt and let's make it literally like directed to like content creation. And I'm going to use a generic prompt, but I'm going to customize it at the same time. But I will tell my Copilot, create a presentation about Cloud for Work company. And focus on their services So you can here tell just Copilot whatever you have in mind. I want to make it directed as let's say, like targeting different audience and targeting different clients and customers who are interested in AI. So we will tell Copilot, create this presentation and focus on showing. We can tell Copilot and focus on showing their services, their offered services, and clients they work with, partners, and other relevant info. And we can now add a fine tuning here. So if I have any similar material, or if I have any some documents, PDF documents, we can definitely reference that. But now I want to tell my Copilot, please make sure to make it generic and target introducing the company. The objective here is to introduce the company for new audiences. So please make sure to introduce the company well to different type of audiences. And again, you can definitely, like, I chose this prompt just to show you how, like, my objective is to make a good content about Cloud for Work company and to introduce it, to make it good enough to be used as a material to introduce ourselves to when we are having a new engagement or if we are offering our services and so on and so forth. If I have any supporting material, you can definitely use that. And if you want a Copilot now, the first draft, you want Copilot to just get you the data. In this case, Copilot will use the data from the web. So see my prompt, I made sure to include what I have, the same prompting techniques that we talked about at our at our launching of this academy, which is basically including what we want clearly, the subject, the topic, the context. So here I told my Copilot that I want you to introduce the company to different type of audiences. This is my context, and I want you to include this and that. And you can definitely add more details. So this is just tips and tricks. Whenever you are creating PPT, it is important, or like it's a nice thing to tell Copilot who you are targeting, who are the audience. This is something that you can definitely add whenever you are writing or prompting Copilot in PPT. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit on generate, and let's see how would Copilot respond. If I have any supporting material, you can definitely attach it at a later step. I'm going to show you this as well once we get our output. So see, previously, Copilot will just, or like any other AI tool, will just give you a content or give you slides. Now, the situation is different. Copilot will start talking to you. You would agree on the skeleton, you would agree on the flow, and then you can approve, decline, you can merge, you can delete, add, and then you can take it from there. So let's see how would our Copilot respond. And again, the more detailed the prompt, the more it would just take time from Copilot to get you these things. But generally, Copilot should be quick and it should do things for you. So let me just refresh that. Even if we get with AI, definitely, if you get any error messages, this is not a problem. All what we need to do is just refresh or just start from scratch again. Let me just open it. With all AIs, this is something that we might get. And again, in AI, we should just give it some time, or like multiple trials are always useful. So I'm going to go ahead and hit on our prompt, and let's just use it as is. Sometimes it's also good to refurbish a little bit, just to make sure that it has some changing. And the company well to generic audiences. And let's just remove this and go ahead and hit on generate. Let's see. And again, definitely with Copilot, you can do the same on the web. So whether web or app, this shouldn't be of a difference. And as I showed you, if you are following a certain template, you just need to follow the template. And see, here we go. So all what it take, even if we get some error messages with AI, this is kind of normal. But hopefully, as we know, with time, all AI is getting more evolving and evolving. And hopefully all of these delays or like error messages would be reduced and eliminated. So see here, Copilot first talk to me about the outline. This is my outline. The outline is first intro about cloud for work, company history, etc., mission and vision. And from where Copilot will get this content? Copilot will get this content from the website, available info about cloud for work from the website. If I have any additional material, you can definitely add them. So see here, this is my intro. And then Copilot decided to add a section about services, clients. If I want to switch, we can switch between clients and services. We have partners, other relevant company info. And at any point of time, you can add a section or add a topic. And here you can add a topic and reference a file. So I can tell Copilot, add a topic about like, excuse me, people at Cloud for Work. Sorry, and then attach a file that shows people and faces and etc. if this is what I want. For the sake of time, I'm not gonna add that, but definitely here feel free to add a topic and attach any material or any files that you have and you want to support your presentation with. You can definitely at any point of time delete any section, control the flow, and make sure that what you want is generated there. And this is for the flow and the skeleton. And now for the presentation style. So I selected this and I showed you what we need to review is the slide master to make sure that Copilot will mimic up to 90%, 80 to 90% of what we have in this slide master. If you have, if you want to upload your own organization or like your own template, this needs to be uploaded from an admin side to your SharePoint so that it would be accessible for all employees. If we don't have this option, we can just go with opening the template that you have on your local PC or your local drive and just ask Copilot to follow it. Excuse me. And another thing here is that what we want, how we want to control our images, the images preferences. So I'm going to keep it AI generated images, or if we have some content from Microsoft library, in AI generated images, you can just select any style that you want of the available styles. We can just keep it as is if this is what we want, but I'm just showing you the different options that we have. Once we are sure of our content, we can go ahead and hit on generate slides, but definitely for any presentation or any content that we are generating, we need to validate and we need our human intervention, especially with these presentations that we are sharing with, let's say, our collaborators or our partners or our clients. We definitely need to validate and make sure that we add our human touch. Inside the slides, we still can ask Copilot to do some changes, but definitely human intervention is still needed. This is for the paid license, the paid M365 Copilot. If we don't have the license, we still can generate slides with PowerPoint through the agent that we have. I'm going to just walk you through this quickly. And you can ask Copilot to generate PPT for you. But again, definitely with this M365 Copilot paid license, the quality and the let's say the opportunity to work within different files and to attach different files and convert them from just files and just data into nice presentations, this is would be much more enhanced with this paid license. So again, as we can see, this a little bit is taking some time because it's like preparing slides, preparing content based on our outline, based on our the preferred style and the images structure that we selected. And as we can see here, Copilot is always giving me some heads up, like it's getting me, telling me like I'm applying the design, I'm following your structure, I'm following what we have in the slide master, I'm getting you the info that we agreed upon, and so on and so forth. And here we go. Now let's validate and let's make sure of the services or like of what we got. And again, the template that I selected was just like, as I told you, the template, a generic template to show you that Copilot will mimic what we have. Let me hit on keep it. and hit on this so that we can review it. And again, the floor is still open for any amendments. How to do that? Still here, we can add a slide or add a topic. So you definitely don't need to redo that again. Just add a topic based on any slide or any section, or add a slide about a topic from any file. This is something doable directly to the slides, or talk to Copilot, retrieve a previous prompt, and insert it manually. Let me show you. First, let's validate. And as you can see, Copilot is following the slide master for each slide. So if we go back here to our PPT here, and we go back to our slide master, just to validate it quickly, as you can see, we have this and that, and then we can see that Copilot exactly followed here. This is my first slide with the title, and this is like the agenda slides. Now we have this section separator. So this is like introduction for Cloud for Work. And as we can see, we have here history and the story. And then we have like mission, vision, and then we have some overview. And then as it is exactly following the structure as we wanted. And definitely, as I told you, we still need to work on the design and the format with a human intervention, but this doesn't mean that we cannot edit inside the slide. We have some capabilities to edit inside the slides, but definitely we need to look into that also in parallel with a human intervention. So for example, we can definitely take or pick any a slide and then start with amending. So for example, here in the services, we can definitely here just go and just to check, or like maybe for example, just select them and see. What we can see here is that this Copilot icon. So what we have is like some list of let's say options where we can either auto rewrite, it's still limited, but we can ask Copilot to refurbish that or condense or make it more professional and ask for some changes. I can ask Copilot to convert it into table or make it a list and so on and so forth. This is something that Copilot can do, but definitely, as we said, we still need to work on the design. We still need to work on formatting the content. And for me, Ragad, I get the first draft and I use it to get like output, but definitely I don't count on that as a final output to just share it with the end users or with the client or with the stakeholders. So definitely something that we can make use of. And now, if we find like if we continued like here for the different sections that we agreed upon. So as you can see here, other relevant information related to any other available info, we can definitely validate that, delete and amend as needed. And if we want to add anything about like any info to our slides or any part of previous prompts and the previous available info, we can definitely click here on Copilot and start talking to Copilot from this let's say to the left-hand side area. So if I want to apply changes directly, you can click here and ask Copilot to add a new slide or add a topic and insert your files. If you want to just ask Copilot for like just for example get a previous prompt and get output out of that, you can definitely tell that to Copilot. So here, for example, we can click on that plus button. We can also call our agents. You can call analyst and researcher and work with them directly here. So you can tell Copilot, please make sure to analyze this and get me the output. Or if you already run data and you want to just display it, you can do that. So how to do that? Let me show you. For example, we can just click on this panel, and as you can see here, as if I'm dealing with Copilot chat, go to previous chats, click on the or search the chat or the prompt that you used before, and just call it. So here, if we click on that, we can just click on the search button and just ask Copilot to retrieve the conversation. Let me just hit on that, for example, and see how would Copilot retrieve this prompt, and we can make use of it as needed. So this is something if I want, as if I'm dealing with Copilot chat on the web. So here we can see that this prompt I ran previously. So here I was able to call it, and you can easily, what to do, you can easily take a charts and insert it manually into your presentation. So you can just copy this chart or any other charts. So here we have any other charts that I see it is important, very professional charts through Analyst Agent that we will cover hopefully in our coming series. And then we will just copy that and insert it directly into our like our PPT slides. So this is something that we can do. Another thing, let me just show you another thing, is that we can just go back to here, our Copilot chat, and let's assume that we have a certain meeting, and I want to just take a couple of examples or like couple of action items from that meeting. We can definitely process that here and take it from there. So I can select the meeting of interest to me. So for example, if I am searching for a specific meeting, just search for that meeting, and we can just select here and ask Copilot, help me, or like help me extract the action items in bullets. And then we can definitely process that here. And then same applies, copy this and insert it into our PowerPoint presentation. So you can apply changes either here directly from adding a topic or adding a slide similar to what I showed, or we can definitely here ask Copilot for changes, to talk to Copilot, to chat with Copilot, but the intervention is still need to be taken manually, or like we need to take that manually by human intervention, similar to what we are getting here. And we can just get that and insert it into our slides. I'm going to pause here and just to check for comments and the questions before we hand it over also to my colleague Muzammel to cover Microsoft Word. Let me pause and check on questions. Any questions or comments? All good. Muzammel,
Yes,
please
Raghav,
advise.
there is one question in the questionnaire box.
Yep, let me check that. So we have a couple of questions. So we have, is it possible that we can give the resource material from different locations, including URLs for PPT creation? Yes, very good point. So see, generally, what Copilot can do in in this PPT, you can tell Copilot, please visit Cloud for Work website. But from my experience, telling that or typing this is the best option. If you start providing some URLs inside the slides, to the left-hand side, this might not be the best option. However, this is a very good point. Let me show you. So see here, what I do is that let's start a new chat. You can here talk to Copilot and tell Copilot, please visit this website and get me data on this and that. Inside here, what I recommend you as an alternative option, just to avoid any confusion, what I noticed is that you can just tell Copilot, visit this company website, that is better than just providing URLs. What else do we have? Let me just also watch in that. I hope we answered you, Jadul. And we have here, how good is Copilot to configure or recreate animation to my PPT content? I'm referring to advanced animation of certain projects. Yeah. So see, Copilot is able to provide animation. If this is a capability check, yes. But if you are looking for like advanced animation, we need to stop on that and understand what kind of animation are we looking for, So this is something that definitely we need to visit. And I think Muzammil, you got that. Other new posts, let me check that. Unable to find Copilot icon in the PowerPoint window. So if you have the license, so Ijaz, if you have the license, you should find it. If not, so let me show you, let me revisit that again. So see here, this is my presentation. I have Copilot here where I can chat with my Copilot. And I have this. Can you see this icon? This is where you can actually start creating a new presentation. I'm accessing my Copilot from the app. Now, same applies if we are accessing Copilot from the web. If you can't see it, then this means you might not have the paid license. You still can make use of Copilot in PPT through the agent here. So let me just show you. If we are here on agents, we have this PowerPoint agent. You can still ask Copilot your query. What do you want to do with this PowerPoint agent with less capabilities as compared to Copilot in PowerPoint. But the chat option, if you have the license, you should see the chat option, and you should see this also spark or like the AI icon to the left-hand side. Anything in the chat also that we missed? Anything I missed, Muzammil? Let's check the chat.
I think we covered all the questions.
All
Okay,
right.
there is one question. I have the license, but it shows only the big icon, not the plus sign.
The big icon, you mean this icon? If it is the big icon, this icon, then just to check if you have like here, edit with Copilot agent. If you have the edit with Copilot agent, then it will allow you to make edits to the left-hand side. Because see, this is the Copilot chat, right? Where we can talk to our Copilot. Just to check, because some new changes have been applied recently based on the organization and based on the licenses, based on the number of employees. So just to check if you have the edit with Copilot agent, if it is there, this will allow you to do work to the left-hand side. But in all cases, I think you should see this icon to start creating a new presentation.
Yes, and also just one more point to add on, Ragat. So if again, if you guys are not able to see the icon inside the PowerPoint application, try to access PowerPoint through the web browser. So if
Yeah,
there are some, if there are some update issues to the app, this might be the issue that you're facing. So just try accessing PowerPoint through the web browser. That will give you the complete access.
absolutely. Osman, lately for your question in infographics, I would recommend. So PowerPoint is great in infographics. If you are looking for visuals that are based on Excel data or comma separated files, my from my experience, it's better to work this within Analyst. There are more powerful tools that will really get you what you want, and hopefully we will show that in our upcoming series. So just stay tuned, because AI is generic, but if you have a certain use case, infographics, we have some best candidates or best candidate tools for creating infographics. PPT is good, but we have better options. So why to stick to what is available in PPT? We will show how you can really create nice visuals, infographics with agents like Cowork and Analyst that are really nice and you can easily embed within your PPT. Thank you all. And now, Muzammil, over to you with more of content creation in Word documents.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ragat, for that wonderful demo. So
Yep.
again, let's move on with Microsoft Word. Let me quickly share my screen. And again, if you have any questions at any point of time, please feel free to put your questions in the chat box. My colleague Ragat will be happy to assist you with that. All right. So I hope you can see my screen. Is my screen visible, Ragat?
Not yet. Yeah. Yes.
All right. So let's begin with a very simple use case for Microsoft Word. So again, if you're not able to see Copilot icon inside the Word application, it might be due to some update issues. If the app is not up to date, there might be issues related to that. But don't worry, just try to access Copilot, the Microsoft Word application through the web browser. So that's what I've done here. And inside your Word document, so it can be an existing document or it can be a document that you want to create a new one. It can be a blank one or an existing one. It does not matter. You'll be able to see your Copilot in two different places. So before you do this, you have to ensure that you have the Copilot license enabled for your account. And after that, you'll be able to see your Copilot icon in two different places inside your Word document. Now, previously, we used to create documents on our own. We used to type them manually. We used to spend a lot of time rephrasing our sentences, typing, getting the right words out. It was a very, tedious process, I would say. But nowadays we have, of course, we have all these kind of AI tools coming up. We can take the help of AI. But again, even if you are writing a document with the help of AI, you have to make sure that you validate the response before you share it with someone or before you use it for your work purpose. Now I can see my Copilot icon on the bottom right corner. If you can see my cursor now, this is the Copilot icon inside my Word document. And on the top of my page as well, I can see the Copilot chat window. I can use either of them. It does not really matter. The capabilities remain the same. Now let's try a very simple prompt. Let's try to summarize the document into 5 different key points. Now I'm just pasting the prompt here. And inside your prompt, you have to give it a source. So we have covered the structure of a prompt in the previous sessions. And while you're trying to prompt Copilot, you have to provide the source where it should pull the information from. This can be your emails. It can be any documents that you have saved on your OneDrive or SharePoint. It can be meeting recordings, transcripts of the meetings, any document or any data that you have within your work environment. You can give it as a source file. Now here, the prompt is to create an executive summary of the content of this file into 5 key points. Now I have not uploaded the file. How do I upload the file? It's just to click on the / key, or you can also click on the add content button over here. I'm just going to click on my / key, and that will automatically open up this chat window, this search bar where you can search for any type of content that you have within your work apps. So it can be files on your OneDrive, it can be emails, meetings, any bit of data that you want to upload here, you can do that directly within this search window. Now let's maybe search for a file here. I have this file with me. I'm just going to search for it. Yeah, so I'm just going to select this file that I have. It's about a project, and I want to create an executive summary of this file into 5 key points. It's a very simple, straightforward use case. And again, the format of the file does not really matter. If you notice here, you can attach Word documents. It can be PowerPoint slides. It can be Excel files. It can be PDF documents. Any type of content you can add into your Copilot chat here. You don't have to worry about the format of the file. Now let's click on generate, and that will automatically open up the Copilot chat window on the right hand side. And this is where Copilot will be working on the prompt. It will be going through the document that you attached. It will be referencing that document, and then it will be creating you the summary. It's a very simple and straightforward use case. And as you can see, automatically on the left hand side, the page has been filled up with the summary. And if you, within a matter of maybe 5 or 10 seconds, you have the complete summary written inside your Word document. You don't have to log in anywhere else. You don't have to copy paste between windows. You don't have to switch between tabs. It's a very simple and easy to do use case. Just give your prompt, provide the knowledge source, and then the document will be populated with your content. And again, you can again, just like PowerPoint, inside Word also, even after you generate the content, you can still make changes according to your requirements. You can tell Copilot how many ever time you want to make changes. You can tell that to Copilot, and those changes will be made into your document here. If you scroll down here inside the Copilot chat window, you have some options to add to a new doc. So it's automatically added. You don't have to worry about that. If you wanted to copy paste somewhere else, you can copy it directly over here. You can give a thumbs up if you like it. You can schedule this prompt. So if you want this particular maybe a project report or maybe a summary to be created on a regular basis, on an automated basis, you can schedule this prompt as well. Now here I have the summary, and I'm just going to click on done here. So that will confirm the generated text. And again, if I want to make any changes, I can still ask Copilot to do that for me inside my chat window here. And and let me quickly show you another very beneficial use case. So I'm just going to clear this one out. Let's take a new chat window here. And if you notice, you'll be able to see 2 different modes inside your Copilot chat window. So if you click on this particular allow editing option, you'll be able to see the 2 different modes. You have the chat only mode and you have the allow editing mode. Now, the difference is when you want to, let's say you have an existing document and you want to know some information about it without going through the whole document word by word or page by page, you can ask Copilot to get that information for you. If you're trying to find a small piece of information from a very huge document, just open that document within your Word application and use the chat only mode. Now the chat only mode, it helps you retrieve stuff. It will be able to chat with you and you will be able to retrieve the content by asking it a few questions regarding that particular content. Now the allow editing mode, it's much more complex and much more beneficial for you. Now, this is where you want Copilot to do the edits directly within your Word document. If you want Copilot to do the edits, like make the changes within your Word document, or let's say draft a new document for you, that is when you have to be on the allow editing mode. So that's the basic difference between these two modes. Now let's try a different prompt here. Let's try to copy a different prompt. All right. Now, in this case, in this scenario, I'm not referencing any files. I'm going to reference my emails and meeting chats. So here I have this prompt with me, and my requirement is to create a project plan. All right. By referencing my emails from Outlook and a meeting that I had previously with my team. So I have regarding that project, I have had few calls with my team and I've recorded or transcribed the meeting as well. Now I have the project meeting and I have few emails that I received regarding that particular project. Now using the email and the meeting transcript, I have to create the project plan that I can share with my leadership team. Now in this case, as you can see here, I have to attach my email thread. Again, how do I do that? Using my /key. Now I'm just gonna go into my emails over here and I can search for the email that I want. So let's search for the email. All right. So this is the email that I want and the meeting as well. I'm gonna go into the meetings tab, search for the meeting. Only thing, the meeting has to be transcript or at least the recording has to be available for this to work. If it's not available, if the transcript is not there, this might bring you some errors. So just make sure that the meeting is recorded and transcribed before you upload your meeting inside Copilot. So I'm just gonna select my meeting and let's click on generate. So again, same process, it will go through the email trail. It will go through each and every email that you have received according to that particular project. It will go through the transcript of the meeting, what each person spoke about, what were the action items, what were the agenda that was discussed, and it will create you the project plan. So let's give it a moment. Yeah, so as you can see, it is starting to create over here. The document is being filled. Let's go through it. It's giving me a project plan for the Copilot adoption program, the project objectives and the success criteria, the phased project plan. Yeah. And according to according to the complexity of your prompt or according to the heaviness or let's say the size of the source that you upload, it might take maybe 2 or 5 minutes according to the complexity of your prompt. So here I have the phased project plan that's giving me the different phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, the execution delivery, phase 4. Yeah, so let's give it some more time. And while I'm trying to create the document, any changes that I want to make, I can still tell that to Copilot and it'll make the change for me. Again, if you notice inside your Copilot chat window here, you don't have to type the prompt anymore. I mean, typing, of course, it's the most common way of giving your inputs to Copilot, but that is not the only way. You have your microphone option as well here. So you can chat with Copilot. You can dictate Copilot through your voice as well. So let's go through so it's giving me the milestones and deliverables in a very well structured table format. It is giving me the key risks, dependencies, and assumptions, the immediate next actions. All right, so that is the whole document. So it's a 3-page document that it's a 4-page document that Copilot generated for me within a matter of few seconds. So this is how you make your day-to-day tasks more efficient. You might have a lot of mundane or repetitive tasks that you do, like creating a project plan, creating a status report. All these kind of mundane, repetitive tasks can be automated, or let's say at least partially automated, and your efficiency and your speed can be increased with the help of Copilot. It helps you save a lot of time when it comes to these kind of repetitive tasks. Now here I have few options. I can ask Copilot to do the changes for me. If I have any changes, I can tell that to Copilot. Or if I'm fully satisfied, of course, I have to go through the document before I click on done here. I have to go through the document, read it at least once, make sure that the content is correct and accurate. Copilot can make few mistakes sometimes. So that is why we always recommend you to validate the response. Now let's click on done. So that will again give me the complete document here. So this is the document that Copilot generated for me. Now, this is not the only use case. According to your requirements, you can modify your prompt here and there. And let's try to remove this one and let's try to create a new one. Now, when you go back here, let's click on start a new chat and yeah. Now let's give another prompt. Again, I'm on the allow editing mode. Let's click on another prompt here. All right, so this is the prompt that I'm going to do. I'm not going to attach anything over here. I'm just going to give my requirements as a text inside my prompt. So this is why we say prompting is also very important. Every response that you get from your Copilot or any AI tool for that matter, it heavily depends on how well you prompt it. So if your prompt is good, if your prompt has all the details that you want, your requirements, your context, your goal, your source, your expectation, everything that you have as a requirement, if you mention it properly inside your prompt, then the response from Copilot will also be very good. Now let's give this. So this is the prompt that I'm trying to do. I'm not going to attach any files here. So in this case, what Copilot does is it will find me the information from the web sources. If you want Copilot to be grounded on any knowledge source within your work environment, let's say the ones that I showed you earlier, the files, emails, or meetings, then you have to add that knowledge source or add that reference file inside your prompt. If you have not added any reference files inside your prompt, Copilot will explicitly get the information from public websites. It will be able to query public websites, web content, and then give you the final answer. So here, this is the prompt that I'm trying to do, which is suggest an outline for a proposal. So let's give this prompt first, and then let me take you through the prompt. Yeah, so here, this is the prompt that I'm doing. Suggest an outline for a proposal to expand the specialized programs and services across targeted regions or market. The proposal should include executive summary, strategic goals and objectives, regional needs and analysis, proposed services or offerings, resource and infrastructure, alignment with national or industry-wide strategies, policies, and framework. So this is basically how I have written my prompt. It has to be very detailed. Your requirements has to be very well mentioned. It has to be properly structured. Your context and whatever you expect from Copilot, you have to mention that inside your prompt. Now, if you notice here, it gave me the step as well. So before, you could say that Copilot was a bit of a black box environment. You were not able to see the procedure, let's say the process that was happening in the backend. But nowadays, with the cool new updates to Copilot, it has become more transparent, which means you'll be able to see or you'll be able to view the steps or the process that is happening on the backend. What is happening? It is more transparent in that scenario. So here it is giving me the step. It is clarifying the proposal outline needs. It is considering the user needs for the proposal outline rather than document draft. So this is the step that it is going through. And within a matter of seconds, it has given me the outline for the proposal. Again, let's go through it first. So it is giving me the executive summary, the background and the rationale, the strategic goals and objectives, region needs analysis, market or regional profile, demand trends, gaps and challenges. So it is giving me very well structure for a proposal. And if I want to, let's say, I want to make any change, let's say I have, yeah, let's make a change here. Make the conclusion section more elaborate. So the section number 12, which is conclusion and recommendation, I wanted to be more elaborate and more detailed. So let's give that change to Copilot. It will again go through the outline and then give me the more, let's say, detailed version of the conclusion and recommendation. So it is giving me the new section over here. Now let's say, give me the full outline. For the proposal. So this is what I need. I need the updated version of the outline with the new conclusion section. Yeah. So it is again generating it for me. Yes. So as you can see, the conclusion section has been more elaborate and it has become more detailed version. Now let's click on insert to doc. So this is where this option becomes very useful. When you have created a response from Copilot, when you want to copy that entire response back into your document, just place the cursor wherever you want to insert that content. Just place the cursor over there and just click on add to doc. That will automatically create you the document and it will show you the complete proposal inside your document. So this is the document that it generated for me. So this is basically how you, again, if you want to do this particular prompt in a very in a regular manner, in a automated process, you can also schedule this prompt. So when you schedule this prompt, it will take you back to the Copilot application. So here, when you click on continue into Copilot application, it will show you the prompt there and you'll be able to schedule the prompt. So here the complete prompt is there for me. So here I can see the complete prompt. If I scroll up, yeah. So this is the complete prompt that I did. And I'll be able to schedule this prompt to run on a regular basis. So when I click on schedule this prompt, it will draft me the Word document for this outline or for the proposal on the date and time that I choose. So let's say I want this particular prompt to run on a regular basis. Maybe this is very helpful when you want to create a project report on a weekly or a monthly basis. You can schedule this prompt with Copilot. You can add the content inside your prompt here. Just add the content, whatever you want, whatever requirements that you have for your project report, add it over here. And you can choose the date and time it will run. So let's say, for example, I want to start tomorrow and every day, or let's say once in a week, when I come to office at 9 a.m., I want this prompt to run and I want this Word document to be generated. So let's say, let's choose the time 9 a.m. I can also choose the frequency, which is daily ones or weekly ones or monthly ones. I can choose the frequency of this prompt running. In this case, let's select weekly ones and let's select maybe Monday. I can also select the end date when this prompt will end. And then I can check this checkbox, which will receive an email when the response is ready. So when the response is ready, when the Word document has been successfully generated, I will receive an email on my Outlook saying that this particular document is ready for your review. So this is very helpful when you're trying to create a project report on a regular basis and you don't want to do the prompt manually anymore. You can schedule that prompt to run on a regular basis. So you just have to click on save and the prompt will be scheduled and you will receive the project report every week on Monday at morning 9 a.m. So this is how you basically run prompts inside your Copilot Word. And again, you don't always have to write your own prompt. You can find prompts inside the prompt gallery, which will help you write better prompts for your different use case. So you can also take the help of Copilot. When you have a prompt, let's say when you have a requirement, if you're not able to put it in the right words, ask Copilot to give you the right prompt for that particular need. This is how we learn. We learn by trial and error. You might not receive the most satisfiable response the first time. If you're not able to receive it the first time, just try to rephrase your prompt, add more details into it. As time goes on, as you retry, your responses will be much, much more better than the previous ones. All right, so I'm just gonna have a little pause here and let me quickly check for any questions in the chat box.
Thanks so much, Muzammil. I got them all, but definitely the floor is open now. Yeah, we got a new question in the chat from Rotana. But yeah, definitely the floor is open now for all our audience to talk to us and ask your questions.
Is it possible? Yes, you will get the recording. So after the session, we'll be sharing the recording with you all. So don't worry about that. Is it possible to obtain last week's recorded version of Excel training? Yes, of course, we can share that with you.
For any recording related issues, you can definitely talk to Annie. So for recordings, just talk to Annie. I'm gonna, our moderator. And here is
Yes, definitely. We can leave my email and just email me if you have any issues. I'll send you direct link.
Okay. And I have a question, is there a daily limit to use Copilot? So if you have again, there are two different types of licensing plans for Copilot. You have the Copilot Chat free version, which is included in your basic Microsoft license E3 or E5. Even if you have the basic, there is no hard-coded limit to the number of messages that that you can give to Copilot. If you have the basic license, the response time might be different. You might have a bit more latency when using Copilot with the basic license, but still there's no hard code limit. And of course, if you have the premium license, of course, there will be very less latency and no limit to the number of messages that you can do with Copilot. It's unlimited. All right. So, any other questions before we check? Yeah. Okay. So let me quickly share my screen now. All right, Annie. So do you want to share about
Yeah,
this
jump in.
contest here? Yeah.
Of course, of course. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And I want to ask to take this survey, which will take less than 2 minutes to participate. And as a thank you for participants who complete the survey, will be entered into a draw to win a $100 Amazon voucher. The winner will be selected at random from completed responses and contacted by email. So please feel free to send us your feedback. Also, will help us understand where organizations are standing in AI adoption journey. So yeah, this is my final note. You can access link also for scanning the QR, and very excited to see your responses. And as a final note, I want to say that, as you know, this is a part of our academy, and feel free also to register our next session about custom Copilot agents grounded in work and web data. After this session, I'll send you the email with recording for this session and also with a link to register for next session. Thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Muzamil. Thank you, Rahat. Bye.
Mhm.